No. George and Martha Rise and Shine by James Marshall. Three stories about two friends. Story 1, The Fibber. One day, George wanted to impress Martha. I used to be a champion jumper, he said. Martha raised an eyebrow. And, said George, I used to be a wicked pirate. Said Martha. George tried harder. Once I was even a famous snake charmer. Oh, goody, said Martha. Martha went to the closet and got out Sam. Here's a snake for you to charm. Eek! Cried George, and he jumped right out of his chair. It's only a toy stuffed snake, said Martha. I'm surprised a famous snake charmer is such a scaredy cat. I told some fibs, said George. For shame, said Martha. But you can see what a good jumper I am, said George. That's true, said Martha. Story number 2, The Experiment. Martha was in her laboratory. What are you doing? Asked George. I'm studying fleas, said Martha. Cute little critters, said George. You don't understand, said Martha. This is serious. This is science. The next day, George noticed that Martha was scratching a lot. She looked uncomfortable. George bought Martha some special soap. After her shower, Martha felt much better. I think I'll stop studying fleas, said Martha. Good idea, said George. I think I'll study bees instead, said Martha. Oh dear, said George. Story number 3, The Picnic. One Saturday morning, George wanted to sleep late. I love sleeping late, said George, but Martha had other ideas. She wanted to go on a picnic. Here she comes, said George to himself. Martha did her best to get George out of bed. Picnic time, sang Martha, but George didn't budge. Martha played a tune on her saxophone. George put little balls of cotton in his ears and pulled up the covers. Martha tickled George's toes. Stop it, said George. Picnic time, sang Martha. But I'm not going on a picnic, said George. Oh, yes, you are, said his friend. Martha had a clever idea. This is such hard work, she said, huffing and puffing. But I'm not going to help, said George. I'm getting tired, said Martha. George had fun on the picnic. I'm so glad we came, said George. But Martha wasn't listening. She had fallen asleep.